It's kind of an exciting time for me. Year 19 on the campus and first year to run my first official practice as head coach. And we'll do that on Friday. So super excited for that opportunity. The team has worked extremely hard in the fall. We did a boot camp this year. We got them up early in the morning, did stuff without a basketball. Been doing a lot of shooting, trying to get that ball to go in the basket a little bit more, and the kids have responded great. And I think we're all excited to start official practice on Friday, leading into our first game, which I believe is November 10th against San Diego Christian. So we're healthy. Our seniors have provided great leadership. Trey Cal, Malik Pope, and the addition of Cam Rooks. So they've set the tone, and the rest of the team has responded. And the Aztecs are ready to take the floor and get ready for another exciting season.
Brian, what's the signature of the personality of a Brian Dutcher team?
You know, Hacksaw, I've always been a positive person. So hopefully it's that positive energy. It's not looking at the glass as half full. If a shot doesn't go in, let's not worry about that. Let's just make the next one. We're getting good opportunities. Let's take advantage of them. And so I think I'm trying to bring a positive energy, not unlike Coach Fisher brought, but maybe in my own way.
You're so familiar with this program, but has there been any extra nerves or excitement just knowing that it's yours now, getting ready for this first season?
You know, yeah, there is a little bit more excitement for me. I always felt like I contributed at practice and was a part of everything we did. But to step out there and be the final voice on everything is kind of exciting. And it keeps me up a little bit more at night trying to find the right way to word things. It's not the message, it's the way you deliver it. And so, you know, I think about ways to deliver a message that they'll best understand and try to help them get better. You know, that's my job as a coach, to help all these individual pieces get better, but at the same time build them into a cohesive team. And so I'm excited for that opportunity and the challenge of doing that.
What's this team have to do to get back to the postseason?
Win close games. You know, I always remember, and it's true, Coach Fisher always would say the difference between winning and losing is this much. And that's the case. And I think we all remember the years we went on that streak where if we had a lead in the last 5 minutes, we never lost a game. Well, we started losing some of those games. And so some of it's coaching, some of that lies on us, some of it lies on players performing down the stretch. And I think as long as we all take responsibility in that, we'll climb that step and start winning close games. Because I think the thing we all know is the games are going to go to the last 5 minutes. And you think back even to the conference tournament, Colorado State, you know, a couple calls here and there, a couple plays, and maybe we're playing for the conference title against Nevada and going to an NCAA tournament last year. So the difference is not great between winning and losing, and we have to find a way to take that last step to start closing out games again.
Dutch, how do you find consistency to Pope's game and to Caesar Gill's game?
Malik Pope, I think he missed 9 games last year due to injury. So it's hard to get a consistency about you when you're always coming back from injury. Malik had a great summer and a great fall where he really put the work in. And he's at full strength right now. Even though he had a high ankle sprain toward the end of the summer, he's battled back from that, and he's full speed, full go. And so I think a healthy Malik Pope will mean a great season for the Aztecs. So it's sometimes just, you know, you learn a lesson every year. And so I think Malik's gotten better. Freshman year to sophomore, sophomore to junior, and now junior to senior year. And there are times where we watch Malik play, and he's the best player on the floor, and he's an NBA-type player. Now we have to have the consistency where it's that way every night for him. And so we have to put him in position to do that. In regards to Techie, he's had a great summer and fall. And Techie, sometimes opportunity leads to your success. And he played behind Dakari Allen, a senior. He played behind Matt Shrigley, a senior, and he didn't get a lot of minutes. And so when he did get in last year, I thought he pressed his game a little bit. And there were times where the ball went in and he looked great, but there were times the ball wasn't going in and it was easy to go back to the starter. I think the opportunity he'll have this year will give him that peace of mind where he can come out and play a little bit more relaxed and know that his contribution is going to be greater over a greater length of time. And I think that will help both him and our Aztec team.
Dutch, talk about the balance that you've been able to put together. You had to work real hard in the offseason to fill in a couple of holes, and are you comfortable now that you've been able to do that, and it's a real positive thing at this point?
Yeah, I think the holes we plugged, it's interesting because we have 12 on the team, and 6 of them are new to the playing floor. We had 2 red shirts, Devin Watson, obviously a local kid who had great success at the University of San Francisco, averaged 20 points, 5 assists. Jalen McDaniels, a 6'9" freshman from Seattle that redshirted, that we really debated whether we were going to play Jalen last year or not. It was that close. So I think the sit-out year from him was great too. I think he put on 20 pounds. And so both those guys are new to the program, even though they've been in the program. So we're excited to add them. Then we talk about the 3 freshmen. We have Adam Seiko from a winning program. We have Jordan Shackle from a CIF and state title team. We have Matt Mitchell from a CIF and a state title team. So we have 3 freshmen that come from winning programs. And I don't think there's any replacement for that. They're used to winning. They know what it takes to win. They know what it's like to play with other great players, where they're not just the only player on the team. And so I think they fit right in because they're not coming in to say, I have to do this to get on the floor. They know how to make other players better, but at the same time, add worth to the floor with their own abilities. And then Cam Rooks, what program has greater success with 5th-year seniors than the Aztecs? And Cam is another one in those lines. A 7'1" local kid that adds the size that you don't see anywhere else from us. We have athleticism, but he might be the missing piece size-wise. At 7'1", he's a space eater. He's experienced. He had a great experience and career at Cal, but we're fortunate to have him for his hopefully most productive year, that 5th year on the floor for us. And so we're excited about all the new pieces. The returners, we returned 3 starters. Jeremy Hemsley, who was freshman year in the conference, had a nice sophomore year and ready for a great junior year. Trey Kell, who was first-team all-conference 2 years ago. And like we tell him, as the team wins, the benefits grow for everybody. So Trey had a really good junior year, but we didn't win the conference. And so he dropped to maybe, I think, 3rd team. And then Malik Pope, who's come back from injury to have a productive summer. We had Nolan Narain, who is unfortunate. He's good enough to play, but he hasn't had the minutes because he got caught up in the depth chart. And I tell the guys, ideally, as a coach, you only want about 9 guys on scholarship because usually you're not going to play more than 9. So you're going to have 3 guys that aren't getting any minutes that are good enough to play. But I said, unfortunately, we get guys that are hurt, and so a coach can't go with a 9-man roster because you're going to have a guy that's sick, a guy get injured. And so we have 12 on the roster, and I would tell you this, all 12 we have on the roster can play, and they're very good. So now it's up to us to figure out what combination works the best for the Aztecs. The summer's for developing your game individually. Now the fall, and as we start official practice, is about getting the team better. So now all our efforts are into finding what combination will provide the greatest success for the Aztecs.
Dutch, you talked about senior leadership with Trey and Malik. What leadership skills do they possess that will help them lead this team back to a higher season than last year was, and do they have those skills?
You know, it's always hard to step outside of your personality, and both of them are more lead by example guys. I've asked them to be more vocal this year, and they've responded to that. They have to be the voice of the team. They just can't, it can't only be your actions. It has to be your voice. And I don't think because a coach tells you you're a captain that that's the only guy that can lead the team. So we're looking at guys like Cam Rooks that are new to the program yet have played with great experience over their careers. Or Jeremy Hemsley, who's been in the program and started for 3 years. So even though, you know, I appointed Trey and Malik as captains, that doesn't mean they're the only leaders. But I'm expecting a lot from them, not only by example, but by the way they express their opinions to the team that will make them all feel better about themselves. To be a leader, you have to know you're good, but you have to be willing to give to others. It can't all be about you. And I think as you grow in the program and they've reached their senior years, they understand that. And they've provided great leadership over the summer and in the fall.
Dutch, you mentioned figuring out the right combination for this year. How do you envision the dynamic working out between Watson and Jeremy Hemsley at the point? You
know, the thing is, like, and I mentioned this to the team, you know, I said, Jeremy, I said, what about a lineup? How's it sound with you and Devin and Trey out there together with 2 bigs? Oh, that'd be a great lineup. I said, well, what about a lineup of Jalen and Cam and Malik and then 2 guards? Well, that'd be a great lineup too. I said, that's the problem. They all sound great on paper. But it's my job to say we're going to maybe scrimmage more this year and see what those combinations are. If I put that 3-guard lineup out there with 2 bigs and the other group beats them, well, then you haven't been productive. Or if I put a big lineup out there and a smaller lineup beats them, they haven't been productive. So for my own peace of mind, I want to see it. I don't want to just say it looks good on paper. So we may scrimmage more this year than we ever had to say this combination's out there. If you win, then it's a good combination. But if I put you out there and you're losing to the other group, then it's not what I thought it was. And so that's for us as a coaching staff to put different combinations out there instead of just guessing come opening tip what is a productive combination. And so hopefully we will do that over the next 6 weeks leading in the first game, where we'll find a combination that we feel real comfortable with. And can that change? Absolutely. But I take greater comfort in seeing it myself instead of just looking on paper and saying this sounds good or that sounds good.
Brian, Devin Watson's strength and the learning curve for McDaniels, what's that going to be like?
Devin Watson's strength is he thinks he's the best player on the floor every time he goes out there. And sometimes he is. But sometimes when you're the best player, it means the best player at getting your teammates involved, not just the best player scoring or doing stuff like that. So Devin's evolution over a sit-out year is to know you can score the ball, but to get others involved and make them feel like you're the best player because you're the most unselfish and you're the best teammate. So that's Devin came from a program where he was required to do a lot, and he'll be required to do a lot from us. But it's not just scoring the ball. It's leading the team. It's getting others involved. And who else did we ask about, Lee? Jalen, coaches always love players that have instincts and know how to play already. Like they know how to space the floor. They know what pass is available, and that's Jalen. His instincts are really good. And we have a number of players in the program like that. And so they make coaches look good. So I'd say Jalen's biggest adjustment is going to be going onto the game floor for the first time. He's been through practice, but when you step on the game floor and the lights are different and the field's different and your energy's too high, it's finding out where his comfort level is once the games are played, because he's very good in practice. But the transition to a game is a whole different animal, and so I'm interested to see what he does when the games are being played, and if he goes too fast, if he can slow himself down, if he can control his emotions. And emotions are great, but you have to control them. So it's that first time player on the floor for the first time in Viejas Arena playing in front of 12,400 and playing out there in that environment. Can you calm yourself down and make all the plays you make in practice in a game situation?
Hey, Dutch, was there a void in chemistry and or leadership last year? And if so, did that contribute to the finish?
No, I thought our leadership was good. It's like I said, we have to make shots. When you go look at the tape, it's like the easy thing to say is we have to run a different offense, we have to do this different. But then when you go back and you see the open shots we missed, we have to make some shots. The ball has to go in the basket. And I told the kids that. And I said, if that's pressure, so be it. That's the kind of pressure you need. You need to know when you get an open shot, it has to go in. And that's reality. Because you think some of you want to play in the NBA, some of you want to play for money, you have to make the shot. And so that's pressure I'm putting on them. We're shooting more, but game shots are different, and that pressure's different. And so we have to make more shots that we create for them that are open. They have to create more shots for themselves on a short shot clock. And so that's just basketball. So we have to make more plays. I said that. And it's our job as coaches to put them in position to make those plays. But at some level, players have to make plays. And I think when we look back over the success of the Aztecs, we look at the plays that Xavier Thames made, or DJ Gay, or Jamal Franklin, or Kawhi Leonard. We put them in positions and they made plays. So I have playmakers on this team. Now they have to step up and make some of those plays at the end of the game. And I'm not just saying only them. It's my job to put them in position and give them the confidence to make those plays, not to make them afraid to play. And so in the end, players always make coaches look better than coaches make players look. So I'm hoping they make me look darn good my first year.
I'm not contesting Kawhi Leonard's ability to make plays, but he's also gained a lot of notice for his defense. How do you feel the Aztecs are going to do on defense this year?
I think the stat is we've been in the top 5 in the country 5 of the last 7 years defensively. So that's like our staple. We guard. We play hard. We make it hard for the other team to score. We switch up how we defend, and most of it's man-to-man. but we switch up between pressure and then gap defense where we soften it up and make it hard to drive us. And so our defense has always been solid. My only concern defensively this year going in is probably not having an elite level shot blocker. And even last year, Valentine and Zundu, you know, even though he's maybe limited offensively, he could roll and dunk the ball. He's very skilled at catching and rolling and finishing around the basket. He played because he was an elite level shot blocker. Skylar Spencer, who preceded him, was the all-time shot blocker in conference history. Now, Cam Rooks is a very good and big player, but he's more of a position defender. I don't look at him as a explosive shot blocker. So maybe that, in regards to defense, we may be missing a shot blocking ability we've had, but that doesn't concern me because we'll make that adjustment. We'll help earlier, we'll be bigger, we'll wall up with strength more than we have, and so I think the defense is a staple of the program, and I think it will continue to be.
Coach, I'm guessing you've heard many words of advice from Fisher throughout the years. Anything specific to you about this year?
And you guys have heard me talk on Coach before, and it has less to do with advice to the quality, maybe his main quality I picked up with him for working for 27 years, is that he's a great listener. And so I don't want to step out on the practice floor and think I have all the answers. I want to listen to my assistants. I want to listen to my team, my captains, my seniors, and be willing to take their input into the season. It's not my team, it's our team. Now, in the end, like I said, I'm the final voice. I'll listen to everybody, and then I'll make the decision as to how things will go. But I think the greatest thing I learned from Coach is to be a good listener, and that everybody has valuable opinions and not think yours are more important than theirs, but in the end, listen to them and then make the decisions that you think are in the best interest of the team.